Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puppy Truffles. And today I wanted to share with you guys a continuation of kind of talking about some of the Halloween costumes that I've made for the girls over the years and just sort of sharing some of the funny things that I encountered while making them. I do try really hard to, I kind of want to make sure I don't put a lot of money into it just because it's something they're just going to wear once. And so I try really hard to find things that I can get at the 100 yen store or that we have lying around the house already. And this year that we're looking at here is when Audrey kind of wanted to be a snow princess, not exactly wanting to be Elsa, but just wanting something with the snowflake motif. And so I thought immediately, hey, I can use tablecloth material because it kind of looks like snow. So I used that for the outer layer of her dress and then kind of, cut it off to make those funny sleeves that you see there. We found some cute little charms that, sort of were, I don't know how they were made. I think they were made out of thread, but the little snowflake motifs that we put on there. And I then just used layers of material that I had left over from old dresses that they had from when they were little babies. So that's one of the things that I used for that part of the costume. And then for Kate's costume, she wanted to be Zuma from Paw Patrol. And he is an adorable little doggo that helps people in water, I guess. So he has that funny little pack on his back. And I didn't want to make her look like Zuma. So that's where I thought of the idea of kind of making Zuma's face be as a mask almost she'd wear kind of on her head. And if she wanted to, she could pull that down over her face. So that was actually not too hard to make out of felt. You just, print out the design and cut the different parts in different colors and glue it on. That was sort of how I made that particular design. And then for the clothes themselves, I just made out of felt. And again, I didn't bother using any kind of a pattern or anything. And so things don't fit beautifully. They pull a little in the shoulders and the pants are a little weird, but it stayed together better than the than the towel fabric did from when I made the Perry the Platypus costume. So that was good. And then I, made the little thing pack on his back with some leftover plastic bottles and found that little kind of piece that sort of looks like the mouthpiece that he puts in his mouth. I just used a doggy toy that was at the 100 yen store and found some plastic, kind of tubing that they had there too for that. So a lot of things at the 100 yen store that you guys can find and be creative with. So that's some of the stuff I used for that year. And I thought it turned out pretty good. So the next kind of one I looked at was making this kind of design from a character that she liked from the anime Aikatsu. And kind of little frilly layers and lots of stuff with that. And of course, in the real costume, they have bare arms and stuff. She wanted to have a black turtleneck underneath and her black tights. And I thought it turned out really cute that way with all of that. And so we just used lots of layers of leftover dresses that they had as kids. And I just sort of layered them on top of layer on top of layer. And I thought it was going to look really cool, but wound up being just really insanely heavy. And so, that comes from just not knowing a lot about sewing at the time. Now I would know better to, not make so many just layer, but just connect the pieces of fabric together to be just one layer and look like, many layers. But, so, it had the whole different look to it, but it kind of also looked like it was heavy, and it was heavy. So, and then, got the little halo as part of a costume that they had at the 100 yen store that was really cheap, and some of the stuff to put on her, with her wings. I think she had wings in the back. So it was a lot of fun to make that particular costume, and she got to wear. They did have at the 100 yen store some of those little stickers that you can put on your face with the glittery designs on them. So we got those for her to wear for that. And it turned out really cute, I thought. So, but it was a little kind of awkward sort of sewing there on my part for sure. And then Kate decided she wanted to be Kuromi, who's this little evil thing in the My Melody universe. And so was able to find the pitchfork and the little devil tail at the 100 yen store, and then had her just wear her white turtleneck, I should say, and some socks. I had to make the pants for her because she didn't have just white pants. But and so we had that, and the pants were a little better made this time. I still wasn't like knowing that I should, use the pattern and realize how pants are made. So they're still kind of a little awkward, but she did pretty good goofing around with it on. And then I made the hat for her, and it turned out really great. But the problem was it was like just a little bit too small, and so it kind of just had to sit on the top of her head. And she pulled it off great, and she looked really funny, I thought. But, ideally it was supposed to be something that actually fit on her head with it coming down over her bangs. And, but, she was a sport and it looked really great anyway. So that was okay in the end. So the next year, Audrey said that she wanted to be these characters from a game that she liked called Shiro to Kuro no Alice. And she wanted to be the Mad Hatter, the character whose name is Cannon, and Kate wanted to be the Black Rabbit character whose name was Rain. And so she had, pictures for me to work with and a lot of heads up, and so I kind of tried my best to see what I could make for them. I still didn't want to go out and just buy a ton of, fabric from the store and stuff, so I kind of made do with what I had lying around. I actually used an old suit jacket that I had to start off with her coat, and then, edited it as much as I could in pretty lame ways by, just cutting it and trying to add some darting in the back to make it smaller, to have it fit her better. And then just putting all these different layers of color for the lapels and stuff. And tried with the colors of the fabrics that I had lying around, kind of imitate or replicate something as close to what the original was. But it's certainly not the same. If you're a cosplay person, you would be striving for perfection and finding that perfect pattern. And I was just going with what I had around. So I shot for getting the jacket made, and then made the shorts for her. And they're not, maybe nearly as tapered or styled as they would have been in the real deal. And I made the little things, I can't think of what they're called, that go around her boots. That was fun. I found like a, tutorial online of how to do that, and used that out of some fake leather that I bought from the 100 yen store. Made the little bustle for her back out of different layers of different fabric, and found a couple of, tutorials on how to do that from people who like to do steampunk a lot. So that was kind of cool and easy to do. We found some gloves for her that were around that matched kind of the style. I needed to have a good shirt for her to wear though, and she wanted something with a really cool big sleeves, and you can't see it in any of the photos that we show here. So I decided to make that from scratch, and that was, I had been kind of making a few things around the house just for myself and stuff, and I decided to kind of follow along with the free pattern I found and made this, shirt for her. So that turned out pretty good. I was really proud of that. You can't see it because it's all the way under all the layers. But and then her hat was, I bought a hat at the 100 yen store, and then I just added to it to make it more of a top hat, and then put the, ribbons around it, and I made the roses, and I bought a clock at the 100 yen store, so I took that apart so I could have that piece there. And the little card that you see there, I, printed that out, and then I burned the edges with a lighter so that it would look kind of damaged. I thought that turned out pretty cool. So, and then for Kate's, I went ahead and used some material that I had lying around from old clothes. And so I tried to piece together what I had left to make her jacket and her pants and the vest, and then added the different accents onto it to try to make it look right. We did happen to have a nice dress shirt lying around, and that had a tie, so that was what she wore with it. And I also bought the gloves from the 100 yen store for her to wear. And luckily there's, sometimes these moments where people need to wear, fancy gloves. So I had those there. That was cool. And then I also made the little like corsage bunny kind of character thing that's on her lapel. So that was not too hard to make, with just some black felt and stuff. But the sword was a little more challenging. I, bought a toy sword from the 100 yen store and tried to manipulate and maneuver different materials to make it look kind of like the sword that he has. And it didn't turn out like so amazing. I spray painted it all silver out in the backyard, and it kind of got, kind of went all right, but it could have been better. So, but that was that one year, and I thought everything turned out pretty good, and I had a lot of fun making stuff. So I was kind of geared up for seeing what I could do in the years to come. So I will have one more in this series, I think, to kind of show you guys the behind the scenes of stuff. So look for that in the days to come. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.